let's talk go bags, but not what you're thinking of a go bag. Let's talk about a private military contractor's go bag. What is it? Why did we have them? And what was in it? I want you to think of the movie 13 Hours. When those dudes ran out to the annex to help the State Department guys, what did they need?
Annex, we need your help. If you do not get here soon, we are all gonna fucking die.
All get in the fucking car now. Go, now, go.
That's what we had in our go bag. If you think about that situation and what you think they would need, that's what we had. It's quite the opposite of what you're gonna hear a lot of dudes on the YouTube that pretend they were cool guys, that pretend they were contractors, and pretend they did this, that, and the other. They're gonna tell you to put a bunch of shit in a bag that you really don't need at all, and that we didn't even fucking carry. So let's dig in. First, let's start with this. What didn't we have in there? Well, I have this bag. I just took it snowmobiling with me. All the stuff in here, I took snowmobiling with me, except for the shovel. It was on the outside. I didn't bring that in. Okay. But what did I have in here? Let's see. Top pouch. Oh, I had a little snacky poo. Those were always good. In here, I had high vis stuff, signaling stuff, extra gloves, stuff like that, right? Mini GPS, things like that. Not bad. You could probably take that with you. Nobody's gonna give you any shit for it. But the main compartment here, right, had a water filtration system. Probably not gonna need that. Okay. Knife with fire starter. Unless you're gonna use a knife to kill somebody, probably not gonna need that. Bear spray. Definitely not gonna need that. Emergency radio with flashlight. Definitely not gonna need that. A little stove. Again, not gonna need that. Vaseline soaked cotton balls. And I had, let's see, bag broke. A bunch of hand warmers. Don't need that. Emergency fire start kit. Don't need that. Emergency shelter kit. Nope. Saw, again, shelter kit. Nope. Okay, and let's see. Tinder and shit like that, okay? That's the stuff that you're gonna see in a lot of these YouTube guys' bags that you're not gonna need. You're not gonna need it, period, okay? When you're in, you know, Africa, Iraq, Afghanistan, pick a shithole, you're not gonna need a fire starter kit, okay? The purpose of the go bag was very simply, if you need to, what we call hard point, if you have to exit your vehicle, right, and you have to go somewhere else because your vehicle is damaged, or, you know, you can't move, or what have you, a multitude of reasons there. If you have to exit your vehicle and you have to secure a building and hard point in that building, what do you need to protect yourself? And more importantly, to protect your principal, to protect the guy that you're supposed to be guarding, okay? That's what we're talking about today. Now, different guys are gonna have a little bit different stuff in their go bag depending on their job, depending on how long they've been doing this, and also depending on that day what they're doing. Are they high vis? Are they low vis? What kind of low vis? Are they just wearing like a button-up shirt, or are they wearing a suit? All that stuff kind of plays into it. So, and the go bag itself, right? This is a Mystery Ranch bag. We did not have a specific bag or anything like that. We didn't have a lot of typical, you know, your military bags. Most dudes had like backpacking stuff like Mystery Ranch, right? Because believe it or not, we were not running around in Cry Precision Multicam, cry or die, right? We weren't doing that. We were running around in hiking pants and or in blue jeans, okay? So a giant multicam backpack would have done us little to no good. We're not trying to, you know, hide in the woods from these guys. We're trying to hard point, and we're trying to keep everybody alive, okay? How long are we gonna hard point for? Kind of depends. Kind of depends on the mission, where you're at, how, you know, how far away everybody is. If you have the big green weenie, i.e. the military that's gonna support you. If you have a hate team or a cat team that is near you that you can call, it all kind of depends. You could be there for 10, 15 minutes. You could be there for an hour, 2 hours. You never know. And, you know, like we saw in the movie 13 Hours again, you could be there all fucking night. So you don't know. Let's talk about a low-vis operation where you're going to be wearing a suit and tie, okay? You're going to see this. The main people that do this are like the Secret Service when they are protecting the president, okay? You're not going to see a lot of stuff on them, okay? And I'll do another video on this stuff, but you're going to see these dudes wearing nice like Ray-Ban sunglasses. They're going to have their hair all did up. They're going to have a little earpiece in. They're going to either have a belly band where their weapon's at, right? Where you can have your weapon, your radio, your mags and stuff on a belly band, and it's all kind of, everything's kind of behind you so you can't see it in the suit. Or you're gonna have something like an appendix carry, or even an outside the waistband, but it's way back here on your suit so you can't see it, right? And if that's the kind of operation you're running at the time, your go bag's gonna be a little different because you're gonna need more shit, right? Another low pro operation is when you're out there cruising around, maybe you're gathering intel, maybe you are doing it in advance on a venue where you're checking out the venue and getting intel on that. Many different things, right? In those situations, a lot of the times, you're gonna be rolling around with, where's that? Soft body armor like this, right? Kind of like what cops wear. Over that, you're gonna have like a button-up shirt. And a lot of the button-up shirts, we had Velcro on them, so you could unvelcro them real easy. Underneath the shirt, you may or may not have like a chest rack, you know, like one of these guys, on kind of down here, but your shirt can still cover it up. So it's kind of low pro, and then you'll have your, you know, your guns tucked in your seat and stuff. So if you have body armor, even soft body armor, and a rack on, you know, obviously you're gonna have your radio, no matter what. But you have a rack on, you're not gonna need as much in your go bag as the guy with the suit on. Obviously he doesn't have, you know, a chest rack. So something like this, or your heavy is gonna have to be near your go bag, in your go bag, something like that, right? Usually these are in the back of the vehicle or the trunk, you know, whatever. So if you're, you know, if you have this rack and you already have your radio on you, you already have a few mags, you're not gonna be loaded out, then you're gonna need less stuff in your go bag. The guy with the suit, he's gonna need to put his body armor in there. He's probably gonna need to put, you know, his belt in there. This guy's probably already wearing his belt. Things like that, right? Speaking of heavy, what kind of depends. In the contracting world, there's very little SOPs for wearing shit, okay? Some dudes swear by a Kevlar, okay? Some dudes don't. Some dudes would definitely not wear Kevlar if they had a choice, right? So if you're not gonna wear Kevlar, you need at least have some ear pro with some comms, because your ears get blown out pretty easily. So if you're wearing just a baseball hat and you can throw your ear pro on and you have some comms, then you're still good to go. Your battle belt, war belt, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's kind of up to you what you have on it, what you don't have on it. You know, there's certain things you obviously need, like guns, and certain things you don't have to have, right? If you have one of these, you're gonna have, you know, your med kit on here. You might have another med kit on your heavy. If you don't, you'll have an extra med kit in your go bag. Your heavy, you're gonna have obviously body armor. You're gonna have, what is it, like 3+ or 3A or whatever it is, 7.62 AP. That's your body armor you're gonna have. You're gonna have extra mags on here, more than likely a blowout kit, i.e. a med kit, something like that, right? soft body rubber, you're probably not gonna have anything on it because you're gonna want it's very slick. That way you can put a shirt over it and people can't really tell that you're wearing it. So low pro, you're doing that. If you are in high pro, if you're in high vis operation and you're already wearing your heavy and you're already wearing your war belt, your go bag's probably not gonna have much stuff in it at all, okay? Because you already are wearing most of the stuff you need, okay? So what would actually be in a go bag, okay? If we have this, one thing you're gonna have is you're gonna have more mags, right? No matter if they're pistol mags, if they're AK mags, if you're running an AK, maybe you're a saw gunner and you have saw pouches in there. You know, if you're running an AR, maybe you're throwing a drum on an AR, you know, whatever it may be, you're gonna need more mags, okay? Because if you get in one of those shitty situations, you're gonna want more ammo. That's your main thing, okay? Because what are you doing? You're protecting the principal first and foremost, and then you're protecting yourself and all your surrounding buddies, right? All your comrades. Let's see, what else you have in there? Maybe you got a knife, like a fighting knife. Multi-tool. A lot of dudes usually just have these in their pockets. Knife, let's see, you know, you're gonna have your radio on you because you have to have comms, so maybe extra radio batteries in your go bag, okay? Usually I always have an extra pair of sunglasses in my go bag. If you're going low pro, you're probably gonna carry a very little med kit. So if you did in my go bag, I always had an extra med kit in there, just in case, right? That's your basic necessities. Now let's say you have to get out of your vehicle and you have to hard point somewhere. You have to take the principal in there. Your entire team has to go in there, what have you, right? So what are you gonna need? Well, you better hope you have extra batteries for this bad boy, and or you have your cell phone, and then you have maybe an extra little juice box for your cell phone to keep that thing charged in case you gotta call somebody. We always had, you know, numbers that we could call. We had something, and I can't remember what the hell it was called, but it sat on our dash. It was Velcro to our dash, and it was like an emergency button. If we hit it, then, you know, everybody in the world got the signal and they would come save us, right? So this is just a spot device. But you would need, we had like an emergency signal. They had one for vehicles and they had one for personnel too. So always have the emergency signal, because as soon as you hit that bad boy, at least now you know somebody's gonna know that you're in trouble, right? Another very important thing to have, a map, right? A map of where you're going, all your routes, possible hard points that you already marked along your routes, things like that. A GPS to know where you're at, right? Especially to let other people know where you're at. If you have birds coming in or you have a bunch of vehicles coming in, they need to know your exact location, right? Marking tools, okay? That's, you know, it's gonna be up to your SOPs of how you guys mark this stuff. I'm not here to tell you what to do or not to do. You should have mini flares. If you have a bird coming in, you got a little mirror, right? Chem lights, these are the universal. You can use these for just about everything, okay? The binos. Binos are great for a multitude of things. See where bad guys are at, see where good guys are at, see if your convoy is coming, to see how far away, you know, maybe your next hard point is that you have to move, right? Nods. I don't own a pair of nods as a civilian. I just don't. They're very expensive and I don't see myself using them hardly ever, so didn't want to waste the money on them. You would obviously have your nods in your go bag, if not on your person. You would have extra batteries for kind of everything, right? You would have extra batteries for all your flashlights, all your optics, if they need them, all your radios, your cell phones, you know, all that shit, right? A headlamp is always good. We always made sure they were white and red. That way you're in a building, you know, if you're using red, it's much better. Another thing that, you know, people geek out about is like water and food. Honestly, you didn't need food. A lot of us would carry just maybe some beef jerky or some granola bars in there just because. Water, you always need water. carry a few bottles of water, carry, you know, a little Nalgene bottle full of water. We would also carry some of these, the schmucks. These are not for to look cool or anything like that. They're actually pretty practical for a few different things. One, in our vehicles, we would cover things up with these. If we had a black dash, usually our windows were tinted, things like that. Covering them up, you couldn't see our radios and things like that, right? If you've ever been in a building that is made out of like concrete and stucco and people are shooting into it, it gets very dusty really fast and you can't fucking breathe. So these are good as a breathing apparatus, if you want to call that, just to get the dust out of the air. Another thing these are great for, you can put these in the windows, right? I can still see through this, but it's harder for them to see in. If we have a black room and it's light outside, it's going to be a lot harder for them to see in here, but we can still see out. So pseudo camouflage, if you will. That's another thing is you're not going to see any camouflage paint because we're not trying to blend in with trees in the middle of the city. That's not our job. Our job is to strictly save the principal and get the fuck out of there, right? A lot of dudes have like these, right? These are Arc'teryx knee pads. If you're, like I said, we're not wearing the Cry Precision Cool Guy multicam stuff. We're not. But if you've ever put your knee down on a hot surface, there's a little tiny pebble there, that shit hurts really bad. So it's really easy to, when you get out, you grab your go bag, you get into the building, slap these bad boys on real quick. It's just peace of mind and it gets that tear out of your eye. What else? You know, maybe some extra gloves. That's always good. As a window licker, right? Your job is not really to care for the principal so much. We have the AIC and stuff like that to deal with the principal. But obviously, if you have stuff like this and the principal, maybe there's like 2 principals or 3 principals, who knows? You know, maybe they're hungry and they're dying of starvation. You can throw them some lickies and chewies and they'll love you for it. If they need water, obviously they're not gonna have a go bag, right? So this stuff is gonna get passed around. If they need a water, you give them water, okay? They are your main priority, hands down, no matter what, all right? So like I said, that's your go bag. Lots of ammo, whole shitload of ammo, medical stuff, maps, and emergency stuff. That's it. This is not a 3-day assault pack. I'm gonna stay out in the woods forever. This is a holy fuck. We just got hit. 2 of our vehicles are down. We have to get out. We have to hard point. In that hard point, we have to kill every motherfucker that's trying to kill us. And then we have to wait for our buddies to get there and save our ass. And that's it. Any questions, leave them down below. As always, when you leave your house, when you leave your establishment, when you leave wherever you're going, ask yourself, are you an asset or a liability?